Hey guys, and welcome to another tutorial. So today I will be teaching you how to make a kind of growly, performance-y sound from Zomboy's track Mind Control. It's not the exact same sound as he's using because he's got a lot of automation going on in his actual sound, but if I just show you my performer here and play you a couple of notes, it gives you an idea of what you can do with your performer if you mess about. And if I increase the ratio here and make it go a bit faster, and go down on the actual notes there. So all I'm doing is using this Performer 7 to make a shape it as an envelope and making this envelope then act on the sound, or the amps and the cut-offs and the effects, etc. So it's quite a laborious patch to make. I'll admit I did actually steal this patch from somebody else and altered it a little bit for my own sort of pleasure. So anyway, here we go. It's a 3 oscillator patch, so we've got a mag ear on the oscillator 1. It's on spectrum. Its wavetable position is 3/4, intensity a half, amp is all the way down. But we are going to use this Performer 7 to make the amp open using this envelope here. So leave it all the way down for now, and then obviously you will be getting sound soon. The filters are halfway in between F1 and F2. The first oscillator is down by 24 semitones. We've got a second oscillator turned on an AI, which is here in the digital hybrids. It's on band -+. The wavetable position is about 2/3, intensity 2/3, and amp is all the way down. Again, it's halfway in between F1 and F2 for the filtering, or the routing for the filter. Down by 24 semitones for the AI. The third oscillator is a chrome, which is again next to mag ear and AI in digital hybrids. It's on spectrum. Wavetable position is a third, intensity 2/3, and again amp all the way down, but we are going to add the Performer 7. So again, it's going to route to both filters, and this one's down by 12 semitones. Next, we're going to turn on the modulation oscillator. We're going to put phase on oscillator 1 and turn the phase all the way up, and make sure that the pitch is down by 24 semitones. That's quite important for the sound. Then go on to position, put it on oscillator 3, and put the position knob at 1/4. Then we want to turn the feedback on, but not actually do anything with the knob yet, because we're just going to add our Performer 7 to it as we're going to do everything else. We've got an insert one on a sine shaper, which is on just below, all the way to the right on dry wet, so not quite full dry wet. And then the drive is about 1/3, and then again we're going to be adding this Performer 7 to that. Insert 2 is turned on, frequency shifter at 1/2, and if you can't quite get it bang in the middle for 1/2, just double click and it'll go back to its default setting. And then turn the drive all the way down. Next we need some filters, but you'll have to reroute the filters because we're getting them, we want these oscillators to go into both of them, one after the other. So if we put the F2 up to series, mix 1 and 2 down to mix 2, and then we want the double notch, or the top one on a double notch, and the routing to about just below the top. And then the second one is a band reject, and again the routing goes from, because it's usually defaulted to the bottom, so we put it up to about here. Then we want to put the double notch on a 1/4 cutoff frequency, and the resonance is just below 1/2. It's quite important for the sound, that. So, and again, if we change the cutoff, so it wants to be 1/4, and then obviously we're going to come back with the Performer 7 in a second. The band reject is at 3/4 for cutoff, bandwidth is about 1/3, and the resonance is also the same, about 1/3. Next, we're going to go into the oscillator tab, turn on restart via gate, and then put the oscillator 1 here at 180, just past 180, and then modulation oscillator, but a little white bar just past 270. We then go up and down, or you can, if you want to slide up and down on the pitch wheel, you can go up 12 and down 12 with this sort of pitch bend here, or 24, it depends what you want. I haven't put any vibrato on this, so I'm going to leave the vibrato macro alone. Next we go to our voicing tab, put 3 on the unison or unisono, whatever you want to call it. Put it on mono, rotate, and legato triller, so we can sort of do this. I mean, it wouldn't, yeah, if I just sort of I mean, I've already got performer. If I've just had a flat line there, so if I go to this side and then just put me a flat line of these, let me just show you. So choose that curve there, and then that curve for all the rest of them. That's what I mean by the so yeah, I mean, if you just want to have this curve on that side, so if you want to have the crossfade curve down, you can just have this as the opening of the envelope. That's all you really need, but I've just done all this performer crap in the top to give it some extra character. So you can choose any one of these kind of shapes, and then that, at the very start, that's going to act on the sound, as long as you put it in 1, 2 and 3 here. Any one of these shapes. So you can have a on the end, you can have that kind of square going down into a sort of sloping arc thing there, and then that's going to give you that kind of last sound that you heard. So, turn the sync on, turn pos off, put the ratio to 1/12 or 1/8, depending on how fast you want it. So you might, I prefer mine on 12. And then this amp is the amount of effect that this has on the sound. So if we have none, you're not going to hear anything because it's going to take away the effect on our amplitudes here. So if you have a little bit, so it's basically filtering everything away because you've got it on cut-offs here and amplitudes and everything. So you can automate it, but only automate it very close to the top of the where the knob hits its limit. So you get my idea. Then we want to be taking a classic tube distortion on here and bring the drive down to about just above 1/4 and leave dry wet where it is. Dimension expander, size all the way down, dry wet just below 1/2. EQ, boost is about 2/3 of the way round, pointing towards frequency. Frequency is all the way down, high shelf is up a little bit, and the low shelf is all the way up. Again, we're going to be putting Performer 7 on these. Then we need to go into Performer 7. So we open Performer 7, or it would be on an LFO, and then we turn it to Performer like so. So let me just show you that again. So we go into Performer 7, as I said, sync, peers, all this kind of crap, and then make our little envelope shape how we're going to want it. Then we want to take the crosshair of Performer 7, put it on the amp here of 1, 2 and 3 oscillators, and then turn them all the way up so the green is all the way around to the right side. Take it and put it on the cutoff frequency of filter 1 and turn it up so it's in line with the kind of T. And again, this can make a big difference to the sound because it's going to sound like this. So it wants to be about there, in line with the T. And then the cutoff, the same cutoff on the band reject. So you're going from 3/4 all the way around to 1/4, so it's half the way around there. Then we want to put it on our teletube distortion on, so Performer 7, again on here on the drive, and then push the drive so it's halfway around the knob, so it goes all the way around there. Then go on to the EQ, put it on the boost, and boost, like push it up so it's not quite all the way around but most of the way around. You can put it full if you want. And then the same on the frequency, you're taking it from 0, the frequency up to about 1/3. And the same, we stick it on our feedback here, on the amp with the feedback, and make sure it goes in line with this little arrow, the post A. Stick it on the drive of the sine shaper, and turn that all the way up. That's kind of quite important for the sound. If we had no sine shaper, so that's really sort of beefing the sound up and giving it a lot more top end. And then that's it. What I'll do is I'll put the patch in the comments as a media file because it's hellishly laborious to make this patch. Somebody requested it earlier on today, and I've managed to sort of do this pretty quick, I think. So yeah. If you've got any questions, if you've got any requests, stick them in the comments at the bottom. And thanks for your time. Please subscribe to my channel, and I'll be back very soon with some more tutorials. Guten Tag.